Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Ayash in Germany. Today I'm going to speak about doing a PhD in Germany. So what are the types of PhDs in Germany, and is it a paid work or only study? So if you are interested to know about doing a PhD, or if you can gain money while doing the PhD or not, stay with me and stay tuned and let's start. So to start, what are the types of PhD? So the types of PhD usually, so let's start with individual PhD, which means you go for a certain professor or whatever and you are interested in their work and what they are doing, and you have a research point, for example, that you are interested in also, and you offer that you would like to work with him in his lab, and he accepts you, and then you have to register for the university to be a student, a PhD student, and then you can start. This is the first type. A second type is research training groups or graduate schools, which means, for example, a graduate school are interested in the field of plant biochemistry, are interested in the field of, for example, cell biology, or even sometimes certain detailed topic. And they have, for example, 11, 12 or 15 PhD students, 11 lab. All of these labs are working together around a big aim. Of course, each lab or each project has its own interest, but at the end they all aim to the same topic at the end. So it's called a research training group. Usually they are more than PhD students and they are working together, they do presentation together. So it's have more work. It's not only about your own work, but you do also other work like presentation and other stuff should be included. So this is the second type of PhD. Let's now speak about, is the PhD paid or not paid? Actually, in Germany you have also two types. The first type is like working contract. For example, let's say a professor, he for example applied for fund, and when he applied for fund, then he get money from funding organization to fund a PhD student. Then he start to make an advertisement, and then, for example, he looks for a PhD student, some people apply, and then he gives you a job, actually like a temporary job, 3 years contract or whatever, how many years. So it's considered as a job. So you are employed by the university or by the institute, you are doing work, getting paid, paying taxes, and everything is going as if you are working completely as any other work, as any other job, and you are doing your research. So and it depends also if you are working in the university, maybe you have to do some lectures, maybe you have to do some seminars. It depends. If you are only in research institute, then you don't need to do those stuff. So it depends the work contract. What should you do besides your own research? It depends where are you working and depends on the conditions. The second type is not a working contract, and of course in the first type also. So you have a working contract between you and the university or the institute, but still in most of the cases you can still register also a student in the same time. And sometimes you have to, sometimes maybe you don't need to, and sometimes you are not allowed, but it depends. But in most cases you can apply and you can also register as a student, and therefore you get the benefits of being a student in the same time. And sometimes you have to get the degree, you have to be just a student as well. The second type of the PhD is that there is no working contract between you and the university. It's only about that you have a scholarship. For example, you want to the DFG, here it's like a funding body in Germany, or you want to the DAAD, or whatever, you got a self scholarship for yourself to fund yourself for PhD, for your expenses, for your salary. And then you go for a rep and you tell them, okay, I have a fund already, and I would like to work at your lab. Or sometimes happening the opposite. To get the scholarship, you go for the lab and you say, you convince the professor that I would like to do a PhD with you, and then he say okay, or she say okay, you can work with me. If you got a scholarship, then he give you approval, and then you take the approval and you start to apply to scholarship, and when you get the scholarship, then you go to him. So it can be this way or this way. But at this type, you don't have a work agreement between you and university, because you have a scholarship. So you just register as a student in the university as a PhD student, and you are funded with the scholarship. So here there is no work agreement between you and the university. So this is basically the difference. Which is better? It depends actually. For example, if you are doing work here, then you pay for the Rentenversicherung, which means like the social insurance. So it's counted already as work. you pay taxes and everything. For example, if you finish the PhD and then you got unemployed, then you are paying taxes and you are working, so you can get the Arbeitslosengeld 1 or the benefits that gives you, if you lose your job, you give you some money, like 60% from your last job, so you can live on until you find another job. But this will not happen, for example, if you are a student, because you are not working, if you understand what I mean. So this is also one of the benefits, for example, that you have some guarantee when you finish the PhD you have, and still didn't find a job directly and you would like to look and you still didn't have a chance to find a job, then you have some money to live on until you find a job, of course, while you are searching. So this is one benefit of having a working contract. But also being a student only with a scholarship, well, it could be also good because you are more free, because you don't have any restrictions. You don't have, for example, if you are working in the university with a contract, you need to do some lectures, for example, from presentation. If you are a student, you don't need to do that, unless, of course, you are not it's not obligatory to do it, of course, unless it was in the agreement that you will do that, of course, then you have to do it, but it's not like a contract. So I don't know, I wouldn't say this is better or this is better, but it's chances, because not everyone will be able to get the contract, not everyone will be able to get a scholarship, so it really depends what you can get and what you can do. One last thing is about the type of the PhD. As I told you, usually for international students, if you like to get a PhD here in Germany, international means from outside Germany, or maybe better from outside Europe. It's better to go for this RTG or graduate schools. Why? Because if you are not here, it's so difficult to apply for individual PhD as a professor or whatever. But in RTGs, usually they sometimes would like to be more international. So sometimes they include, like if RTG research training group or a graduate school have like 20 places, sometimes they say, okay, we'll give 5 or 6 for international. It's not, I don't think it should be, I don't know if it is by the rule that you have to do it or not, but usually in the international schools it's more international, in the graduate school it's more international and you have more international students. It's not a must, but this is what I felt. But still, anyway, to get a PhD you need to get in contact with the professor. You have to convince him that you are the best for this project in all cases. So I hope I hope you liked my video today, and I hope I cleared what is the difference between a working contract as a PhD student or only a student. And I hope to see you next time on my channel, Ayash, oder Ayash in Germany. Bye bye.